Tonight, Timothy Brown, the man seen here being punched, kicked, and dragged through a New York City liquor store by two NYPD detectives in a case of mistaken identity, speaking publicly for the first time.
I felt humiliated, disrespected, embarrassed, and I was brutally beaten.
You don't have a right to resist arrest whether you're the suspect or not. You don't. Anyway, before we get there, I want to tell you guys about the Tatum store. I'm still standing. This is one of the coldest shirts we've ever made. They printed this so well. It looks so good. Support Donald Trump there if you like. I don't care if you don't want to. It's up to you. It's your money. 75% off clearance for all the other stuff on there. This is not included. TatumStore.com, TatumStore.com. Now, before I start, I already watched it. I think the cops were excessive. I think they were doing too much. But I also know that it's a grift. Because all you got to do is resist arrest and get beat up, and then you can make a whole bunch of money. When none of this had to happen, when a cop come up to you, even if they wrong, and they say, sir, I think somebody put your hands behind your back. You do this, you show them your ID, they'll find out you had nothing to do with this, you go home. But that's not what people want. People want that paycheck. I'll get beat up for a paycheck. So what you do is you resist arrest. It ain't me. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. It ain't me. No, you can't just give them your ID like they asked you to. You got to fight and get hit, and they want to get hit. They're getting aroused by getting hit. It's because they know they finna make some money. It bothers me that these things happen in the way they happen. What the police did and what this fool did has nothing to do with the city and the taxpayers. Taxpayers shouldn't be paying you money because the cops did something wrong. They shouldn't. Because you did something wrong by resisting arrest, too. All right. Come on, roll the clip.
In New York City, graphic video of two police officers beating a man. Authorities say a case of mistaken identity. That victim now preparing to sue the city for $100 million. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley tonight.
Tonight, Timothy Brown, the man seen here being punched, kicked, and dragged through a New York City liquor store by two NYPD detectives in a case of mistaken identity, speaking publicly for the first time.
I felt humiliated, disrespected, embarrassed, and I was brutally beaten for no reason.
The NYPD.
You were also resisting arrest. Like, let me put this in perspective. Now, the cops ain't right either. They I'm looking at them do this, and I'm like, if y'all not learn that, like, y'all should be able to take this guy down without punching him in the face that many times when it's two of y'all. You grab his legs, come on, y'all doing too much. You're gonna get fired doing this, right? You know that, right? Okay. But also, this guy is resisting arrest. Let me tell you, for those of you who are not just trying to make money off the city and you actually want to know your rights. When a police officer come up to you and they have reasonable suspicion, that means that if somebody pointed you out and said that guy was involved, that may be enough for reasonable suspicion to believe you're involved. They have a right to detain you. And in the pursuit to detain you, you begin to resist arrest. They have a right to overcome your resistance to take you into police custody. They don't have to prove that you did it. It's only reasonable suspicion to detain you. Only probable cause to arrest you. That doesn't mean that you committed the crime. It just means that they have to develop probable cause. That means that a reasonable person will believe that you committed this crime based on the evidence that's presented. So if you're in a store and they go in and say, put your hands behind your back because they believe you're a suspect in a crime, you are obligated to put your hands behind your back even though you know you didn't do it. They have to be able to detain people and do an investigation to determine whether you're guilty or not. They don't have a magic ball. They're like, yeah, he did it. No, he didn't do it. They don't know. They have to do an investigation. And they have to reserve the right to be able to detain you over this. But if you want to make some quick money, when a cop come up to you and say, sir, can you show me ID? We think you're involved in this crime. I want you to fight them and beat them up. And if you don't die, you're going to get paid. That's what this is about. That man didn't care about getting his kicked. He was thinking dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. Roll the clip.
NYPD says the detectives were conducting an undercover narcotics operation and believed Brown had been involved in a drug deal. One officer holding Brown, the other punching him. At one point in the nearly 8-minute video, the detectives drag his body over broken glass bottles. Charges of resisting arrest were later dropped. Brown filing a notice of claim, a precursor to a lawsuit, alleging the officers violated his civil rights. He intends to ask for $100 million in damages.
I'm on my business. I'm a taxpaying citizen. And what happened to me should never happen to anyone else.
David, the detectives Vulcan Maiden and Michael Algerio have both been stripped of their guns and badges pending an investigation. Meanwhile, the NYPD has launched a 3-month review of its narcotics division.
All right, let's put this in perspective. The cops could be totally wrong, right? They just doing whatever. But I imagine the scenario going like this, based on my training experience and things that I've seen. It's rare that they completely pick the wrong person. These are the questions that I have to make so I can give a fair determination. What were you investigating? What was the description? Because they said he matched the description of an accomplice to a crime they were investigating. What was the specific description, and how did this start? Did they go in and say, hey, put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest? And if they said that to him and he resisted arrest, he should get no money. None. He committed a crime. And if the officers were excessive, they should be disciplined. Two things can be apparent at the same time. You don't have a right to resist arrest whether you're suspect or not. You don't. And the problem with society today, and the problem with this whole thing today, is that this is another black eye on law enforcement, because the guy may have matched the description, which gave the officers the right to detain him. He resisted, so they had to overcome his resistance, which is all lawful. But what they do is the prosecution drops the case, although he was guilty. But because the officers were excessive, they dropped the case when he actually committed a crime. And this is what they do. They drop the case and they let him sue, and they put cops on administrative leave and take their guns and everything. When in reality, none of that is necessary and probably the most appropriate thing to do. It's probably not. I'm telling you guys, I'm just giving you insight. I know you guys trust me. The cops can be dirtbags. When I'm watching it, I didn't get to see how it started, but when I'm watching it, I'm like, look, you guys are being excessive. What do I think they should do about that? I think they should get retrained and have some level of discipline for them being that excessive when it comes to use of force. I think they should have used different tactics. They shouldn't get fired over it. And I think that guy should not get paid any money from the government. If they told him they were law enforcement, they put him under arrest and he resisted, no money. You get no money. And him in there limping like that, no, he ain't hurting that bad. That man ain't hurting that bad. And not one time did you see him try to comply when they're trying to get his hands behind his back. Not one time did he comply. Not once.